What's going on, my beautiful governors? Welcome to a new Rise of Kingdoms video. Today we have a long one, so grab a cup of tea. In 2 days our first pass is opening in our KVK, and in this video we are going to set up our marches, our equipment. We will talk about possible alternative pairings, how can we upgrade our equipment even further. We are going to discuss all of that. Gonna be a good one. Let's go. Let's start by talking about our top marches and possible alternative pairings. The first march we have, my only cavalry march, Attila and Takeda, both max, a great march. And what I'm going to do with this march, since Attila Takeda pairing is all about counterattack damage and normal attack damage, having T5 troops with this pairing has a lot of benefits. So I think at the start of the KVK, at least at the start of the KVK, I will start using them with T5 only. Later on, I will probably do like a 50-50, something like this. And then probably at the end of the KVK, we'll just go run out of resources and we will use only T4s. Our second march, by the way, this configuration is only if we decide to use 4 or 5 marches. I have a second configuration if I feel like, okay, 4 or 5 marches are out of my budget, I cannot keep healing them, so I decided to go down to 3 marches. I have another configuration for that because in Rise of Kingdoms, fighting is all about resources. And if you guys are following the channel, I've only created my first farm account recently and we are a super low spender. So maybe 4 or 5 marches might be too much. Now, let's go to second march, and it is tried and true good old Guan Yu and Leonidas. You can see in here, Guan Yu is max, Leonidas is 5511. He is one of the best low investments in the game. For them, I think I'll go just start with 50-50, some T5s, some T4s, a mixed march. This is our second march. This week, I finally decided to max my CPO. He was 5554 or something like that. Now he's maxed, and we are going to use him with Herald. Herald primary, CPO secondary. If you guys haven't watched our video with Duke or Cortex, card up in the top, we discussed best possible infantry pairs, and this pair is actually super nice, super strong. It's kind of squishy, but it deals so much damage. This is our second pair. Again, just like Attila Takeda, Herald has, yes, a lot of skill damage, but he also deals a lot of counterattack damage. So I will start using this march with T5s only, and then I will go down to 50-50, and later on I'll just go with T4s only. That was our third march. And if we decide to go to 4 marches, now we have Max Alexander, Max YSG. This pair is an amazing early KVK pair, but in Season of Conquest, yeah, they fell a bit of short. They are not tanky. They deal good amount of damage. Alexander has an amazing debuff, which is an AoE debuff if you unlock his expertise, but this pair gets focused so fast and they die so fast, so I don't want to have heavy hospital builds because of this pair, so I'll go with full T4s. Our fourth march is Alexander the Great and YSG, both maxed. And if some reason I decide to go with 5 marches, our option is Sun Tzu and Charles. By the way, our Charles is almost maxed, so we're gonna have another legendary maxed commander. By the way, I will make a video about, how many days I've been playing and how many gold key commanders I'm maxed. If you don't want to miss that, all you need to do is just hit subscribe. And by the way, if you can also click the like, that will be perfect. Our fifth march is, as I said, Sun Tzu and Charles. We have another option. We could use Richard and Ethelflaed, even though Richard is 5511 only. This march is still okay. I mean, none of these marches are marginally better than the other, in my opinion. Richard Ethelflaed has a lot of debuff, slow, and this march has more AoE and damage. And again, I will use T4 only for both of those marches. So this is our 5 march configuration. Charles Martel, Sun Tzu, Alexander, Yi Song-yi, Harold Sigurdsson, CPU Africanus, Prime, Legendary, Leonidas, Guan Yu, Attila, and Takeda. Now, let's take a look at our 3 march configuration, and then we will move on to our equipment. For 3 marches, I will start with march number 3, and again we have our Attila and Takeda. We already talked about this march. Our second march is Harold and Alexander. I've already used this march a bunch in previous KVKs. I love them. I love the damage they put out. Yes, they are a bit squishy. Actually, they are very squishy, but the damage is crazy, and people, since Harold has so much counterattack damage, people actually ignores Harold more than Alexander. So if you have Alexander and Herald, definitely use Herald primary. And our first march, you probably guessed it, of course it's not CPO Guan, it's the reverse, Guan Yu and CPO. The synergy between them is so good. Guan Yu silences the target, and when target is silenced, rage growth 30% faster, so we get extra rage regen from CPO's expertise, which is amazing, so you can cast your silence even more. This is our number 1 march. This is our number 1 march. Guan CPO, Herald Alex, Attila and Takeda. Yes, unfortunately, if we go with 3 marches, we are not utilizing our max YSG, which is a bit sad, but for that, I think I will invest on Boudica, because Boudica looks really good. Card up in the top, where we discuss new archer commanders with Hova, which is an archer main, an amazing guy. He knows everything when it comes to archers. Now, let's discuss our equipment. So we have 3 commanders who are primaries all the time in both commander configuration. In first configuration, it was Guan Yu and Leo, and in second, Guan Yu and CPO. Our second primary commander is Attila, because in both options we have Attila and Takeda. And then Herald Sigurdsson. First option we have Herald and CPO. Second one we have Herald and Alexander. Now, let's gear them up. We are gonna start with Attila. Since this is our only cavalry march, I'm just gonna equip every single cavalry item I have. Of course, the best ones that I have. And with these equipment pieces, we actually get a lot of stats. Unfortunately, I still have a Heart of the Saint. This item is super nice, like it was so strong, but with the iconic boost, with the iconic update, now legendaries are obviously a lot better, and that's why I want to upgrade this. Let me just briefly talk about our future upgrades. What I want to do is to get the legendary set weapon in here, so I get rid of the Heart of the Saint, which puts me at 5 pieces from cavalry set, which is not ideal, which is not efficient, because we only want 4 pieces, which gives us 3% extra counterattack damage, and is super nice, especially on an Attila Takeda, because they deal so much counterattack damage, and that 3% actually matters. And what I want to do after that, let's say I have this set weapon in here, I have 5 pieces from the set, as I said, I will most likely get rid of the armband of the Hellish Wasteland. Even though I really like this item, it gives 7.5% cavalry defense, and our alternative, which is Navarre's Control, let me show you real quick. Not only it increases the stats 0.5%, because from 7.5 we go to 8%, but we are also able to change the defense stat to health. I really like having lots of health on my marches, so this will be a really nice upgrade. Navarre's Control in here, and we again reach the 4 pieces of the set. But right now, our best option is Heart of the Saint, and our accessories, I actually lack a lot of accessories. I just decided to craft, all these legendary shiny items. I think I should have went for accessories a bit more, but we are going to start crafting very soon. But for now, we have a special talented silent trial. Of course, I'm going to use it. Why not? And then I might either use this Ring of Doom on my Attila or my Herald. We will decide it later. Now we move on to Guan Yu. When I gear up my Guan Yu, one of the most important things, in my opinion, is movement speed. Because Guan Yu doesn't have a lot of movement speed, and his first pair was Guan Yu and Leonidas. Leo also is super slow, so I really want lots of movement speed, because Guan Yu is a high priority target. With low movement speed, you are just gonna die. We don't want that to happen, so we need a lot of movement speed. A good way to get that is 4 pieces of infantry set, because 4 pieces gives us 10% march speed. So let's equip those 4 pieces real quick. Now we have the 4 pieces, we have the extra defense, and we have the extra march speed. Now we're just going to equip a Hope Cloak. I have an Eternal Light, and I have a Karak's Humility. I wish I had a second Eternal Light, but for now, I'm just going to equip my Karak's Humility, Special Talented, and I will explain it why I decided to go with Karak's Humility on our next pair. For accessories, again, I want to have as much as movement speed, so we are going to go with a Special Talented Wind Scars, which is going to give us 10.5, I guess. Let's see. Yes, extra 10.5% movement speed. And for the second accessory, we will go with Horn of Fury to get lots of extra rage. Because of the Horn of Fury, I am not using Feral Nature. Maybe it's a mistake, maybe it's not, but after I crafted my Horn of Fury, I had more success with a skill tree without a Feral Nature, and Wind Scars are our accessories. Our third march is Herald and CPO. For them, we are just going to equip the best possible infantry equipment options, which are KVK helm plus the KVK weapon. Where is it? There we go. A Hope Cloak, absolute best items. Now we are going to equip our Eternal Knight on Harold Sigurdsson. The reason is simple, and many of you guys probably already guessed it or knew it. Let's quickly read this skill. When this commander uses their active skill, all infantry units under their command gain 5% more attack but lose 5% defense, and this effect can last 8 seconds and it can stack up to 15 times. So we are looking at a possible 75% defense reduction, and for that reason we want to boost our defense as much as possible to mitigate that reduction. So we go with Eternal Knight, and our gloves is from the set. Our boots, we don't have the second legendary boots unfortunately, and this will be our first upgrade, because once I get the legendary boots, right now I only have one piece from the infantry set. When I get that set boots, I will reach 2 pieces, which will give me extra 3% troop defense, which is amazing. For now we're just going to use our frost threads, and then we will craft our infantry legendary boots. That's the weakest part of the set at the moment. And for accessories, we will give Harold a Call of the Loyal for extra movement speed and a Ring of Doom. As I said, we can use Ring of Doom on Harold, we can use it on Attila. It really doesn't matter a lot. It's just an amazing item for both of these marches, both of these pairs. So we are just gonna leave it like that. Fourth march was Alexander, and to be honest, our equipment is also one of the reasons why I feel like maybe I should just stick to 3 marches, because if we take a look at our equipment for the 4th march, it's actually not strong. Like, these are the best items that we have for our 4th infantry march. Definitely not the worst or not usable, but compared to these marches, it's super weak. So that's one of my concerns. I don't have an amazing set for my 4th march, and that's why I might just stick to 3 marches. And I don't even know what's left for the 5th march. Let's see, it's gonna be funny. Oh, look at these. Look at all these iron helms. Oh my god.
Let's see. Some gloves, we don't have the pants. We have a 7 gatekeeper shield.
Oh, and no boots. Yeah, and this, ladies and gentlemen, our Season of Conquest Heroic Anthem equipment. Look at this beauty. Unbelievable.
Okay.
I will probably won't be using my 5th march, and as I said, I might even bench my 4th march. So these are my top marches in Season of Conquest and my best equipment in Rise of Kingdoms. We've talked about pairs, we talked about possible alternatives, 5 marches, 4 marches, 3 marches. We discussed our equipment, possible upgrades. Hope you guys liked it, hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, a simple like and subscribe only takes 1 second, but helps the channel a lot. And if you guys wonder how can you make all these legendary commanders shine, get them expertise, you can watch this video right here where I explain the best ways to generate legendary commander sculptures in Rise of Kingdoms as a free-to-play, as a love spender. Thank you guys so much for watching. I see you on the next one. Bye.